Hello, everyone. So, a lot of people ask me, why do you have these big rings, Harriette? And I have a lot of them. And I call them my almighty Isis rings. So, some of you might remember when I was growing up, there was a cartoon where the featured person, character, was the Egyptian goddess Isis. And her job was to save humanity. And so, what would happen, she would get an assignment, and then she would go out in nature and hold, this is my recollection, and hold a ring up to the heavens and invite the power of the heavens, of the ancestors, of the gods, to come into her ring, into her arm, into her being, and electrify her so that she could then save the world. Almighty Isis, I decided I want to have rings that remind me of my greatness. I need something that tells me, yes, you are great, even when I don't feel like it. Because no matter who you are, no matter how successful you may be, sometimes you don't feel like it. You have that, sometimes it doesn't matter what your accolades are, you might feel small. Sometimes when you look at what is going on in our world, if you look through a lens and see the strife, the disease, the disparity, the political insanity, you can feel uncomfortable. If you look at your own life, sometimes even the greatest of us have loss. Loss of love, loss of family, loss of work, loss of home, something that contracts us. And when that happens, we sort of buckle over. We aren't able to stand tall. We aren't able to access our confidence, and people often shrink. One of my friends used to say, when this happened to her, she would take to her bed and pull the covers up over her head and hide. And I say to us, we cannot hide. We cannot afford to hide. What we need to do instead is to access our inner power, to access the greatness that is inside of us, to access our confidence, and believe that whatever it is that we are destined to do in this world, that we can do it, that it is possible to do what we were put on the planet to do. Now, who do we learn that from the best? Our beloved Barack Obama, yes? Do you remember from the first day when he ran for president, he was telling us, yes, we can. You remember that? Yes, we can. This man, the most unlikely person, a name like Barack Obama, to run for president of the United States and win not once but twice. And his message of yes, we can was not just for him. It was for all of us. He had people in the United States and the world over to lock arms and to do good. And didn't he just open the Obama Center, this beautiful structure that promises that everyone who crosses the threshold will be able to make their dreams come true? Don't you want to make your dreams come true? Yes. Don't you believe that your dreams have enough value, that it is worth it for you to put in the effort to make those dreams come true? I think so. So I want to do an exercise with you. I participated in an activity a couple of years ago that was so powerful and transformational that I want to offer a little snippet of it with you now. So everybody is seated. I'd like for you to sit up a little bit in your chair and put your feet flat on the floor. Imagine that you are putting your feet into the earth, that you are digging your feet into the earth, that you are grounding yourself into the earth. And sit up straight and tall, but relax your shoulders. And if you will, you can close your eyes. It's only for a couple of moments. And let's take a deep breath together. Let's breathe in. And as you breathe in deeply, filling your spirit, your body with oxygen, invite grace, invite possibility, invite joy. And as you release, as you exhale, let go of any negativity, any discomfort in your body. And let's breathe again. As you breathe in light, breathe in love, breathe in possibility, breathe in your dreams. And as you let go of anything that is standing in your way. And as we continue to breathe, I want to ask each of you to ask your spirit, what am I meant to do? What do I want to do right now? What is my dream for myself right now that I am willing to work on? What are you willing to work on for yourself right now that you want to manifest in the next 100 days? 100 days, that's September 28th is the 100th day. What are you willing to work on to manifest in 100 days? Is there one thing? Maybe it's for your health. Maybe it's for your work. Maybe it's for your family. Maybe it's a trip. What is it for you? As you continue to breathe, ask yourself, what do I deserve in my life? What do I want right now for myself? What do I deserve? What will I work toward? And as you hold at least one thing in your mind's eye, and no more than 3 because then it's too distracting, then ask yourself, what stands in the way of you accomplishing this in the next 100 days? Usually that list is longer than the dream list. Resources, money, time, lack of support. We can come up with long lists of why we can't make things happen. So whatever that list is, tell yourself what that list is. And next, tell yourself what you can do anyway. Don't give up because the list of obstacles is big. Instead of that, what can you do anyway? What can you do despite the obstacles to make that dream that you just told yourself you're worth dreaming, you're worth manifesting? What can you do anyway to make it happen? And so I'll tell you some of the things that you can do that I have learned that you can do that can help. First of all, when you have a big dream, it's usually big and sort of amorphous. It's like a cloud, it's big, but it may not be specific enough. So I want you to take your big dream and break it down into small parts so that they're manageable tasks. Every day, I want you to write down a few tasks that can help you to manifest that dream. And every day, when you get up, look at your list and do something on the list. If you do it, here's what's going to happen. You check it off, and that's a little victory. When you have a little victory, you give yourself energy. You give yourself confidence because I did it. I did something. So let's say you want to lose 10 pounds. If you got up and you walked today, congratulate yourself. You did something, right? If you want to start a business, but you don't know how to do it, take a class. I took the class. Do you see what I mean? Little things, little steps give you confidence because you're doing something. You're doing something for yourself. What happens in a week? If you do this every day, at the end of a week, you have written out for yourself accomplishments, so you feel real good. And by the way, if you don't do everything every day, don't beat yourself up. Just do something the next day and the next day. So then after a month, what's going to happen is you have a lot of accomplishments. You're going to know if this dream is what you should be working on or if it's time for a pivot to something else. And at the 100-day mark, if you focus 100 days on your dream, you will reach a level of success. Now, it does not mean that you want to go to the moon, you're going in 100 days. It might not be that, but you're going to get a lot closer and a lot clearer on whatever your goal is if you make the effort every day. And by the way, don't make it a little goal. Make it a big goal. Give yourself something big to work on. So when I did this 2 years ago, one of the things on my list was to write a book. Now, I've written 7 books. I've been very blessed to be able to write a book and write another, but I had not written a book for about 15 years. So for anybody who's written a book, you know the world is different, the landscape is different. I was really nervous. I didn't have an agent anymore. All of those things, like what could be the obstacles, there was a very long list. And I didn't, you don't want to be embarrassed if somebody says no, that you get rejected, right? I said, I'm going to be confident. I'm going to go for it. I have my ideas. I have a list of ideas. I know how to pitch my ideas. I decided to say it to myself, I'm going to write a book. I decided to say it to others, and I said it to one person who was the right person. And in 100 days, I had an agreement for a book. And in March of next year, my book will be published. This is what can happen, and I am not different from you. If there's any difference, it's just I kept at it. And I was confident enough and brave enough to say it out loud. And that is what I want you guys to do, to be able to say it out loud, to be able to work at it. So for me, I'm asked this question sometimes, well, how did you get to be like that, like how you are? And I say, my family. And I'll tell you a short story. When I was in elementary school, there was this commercial on TV that said, Harriette, the Ajax cleanser shakes out white, turns blue. I was in elementary school. I was the tallest one, the skinniest one. I wore glasses before it was cute. People teased me every day. I was mounting the stairs of my elementary school, and kids started chanting that at me. Harriette, the Ajax cleanser shakes out white, turns blue. I was so embarrassed. And I went home that day. I was still upset at the end of the day. And my mother said, what's wrong with you? My mother is the most loving, beautiful person. And I told her, and her eyes got big as saucers, and she said, sit down, girl. Let me tell you about your name. Wipe away your tears. She said, first of all, your name for your father. My father was Harry Cole. He was the first black state senator in Maryland and later the first black judge on the Maryland Court of Appeals. He grew up in segregation in the 50s as a very tall, dark-skinned man who was confident every day, who taught me and my sisters that excellence was the only option, who said, if you work like this, this is what can happen. And your work is to be good, but your work is to be in service of others. She said, but that's not all. You're named for your great-great-grandmother on my side, too. She was Harriette Ann, like my name, which I hated at the time. She said, we have her manumission papers, Harriette Ann's. She saved her money and walked from Calvert County, Maryland, to Annapolis to buy back her husband and children before they were sold off. My mother said, the next time that you complain about your name, you better know that you have to live up to your name. And so I say to all of you, access your inner power, access your confidence. And I learned in my spiritual practice that with a bird, there are two wings of the bird, right? Self-effort and grace. Self-effort is what you do. Make the list, do the work. Work on what your heart tells you you're supposed to do, that God told you you're supposed to do. Self-effort and grace. God's grace is always there, waiting for you. And when you do the work, the bird can fly. Almighty Isis.